The way you show up every day shapes your future. People notice you before you even speak. They notice how you stand, how you greet, how you look at them. In seconds, they decide if you're confident or unsure, approachable or distant. That's why improving your personality and confidence isn't something to get around to later. It's something you work on every single day. In this video, I'm giving you daily, realistic tips that anyone can use. No complicated theory, no fake be someone you're not advice, just simple actions that work in real life. You'll learn how to speak in a way that makes people listen, how to carry yourself so you're taken seriously, and how to leave every interaction on a high note. These are habits that build respect fast and help you stand out anywhere. If you want people to remember you for the right reasons, watch closely. This is how you take control of how the world sees you. Starting today, number 1, challenge yourself to speak first in group situations. When you find yourself in a group, it's natural to hang back and wait for someone else to start talking. Most people do it. They think they're being polite, or maybe they're just unsure of what to say. But the truth is, every time you hold back, you're telling yourself you're not ready, and you're telling the group the same thing. If you want to improve your personality and confidence, you must start changing that message. One of the most powerful changes you can make is to speak first in group situations. Speaking first is not about trying to dominate the room. It's about stepping forward and showing the people around you that you're present, engaged, and confident enough to contribute. When you open your mouth first, you set the tone for how people see you. They notice. You suddenly shift from being the quiet observer in the background to someone worth listening to. The first thing you must understand is that confidence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. Confidence grows from action. You might think you need more courage before you can speak first, but it works the other way around. You speak first, even if you feel nervous, and that act slowly builds the courage you've been waiting for. You train your mind to accept that you have a place in the conversation. Most people in any group are thinking about themselves. They're wondering what to say, how they look, whether they're making a good impression. This means they're not paying close attention to your every move. You might feel like all eyes are on you, but they're not. They're caught up in their own thoughts. This gives you room to practice without the pressure you think is there. Start small. The next time you walk into a meeting, a gathering, or even a casual group of friends, decide before you step in that you will speak first. It could be something simple, a question, a greeting, or even a short comment about the topic at hand. The point is not to give a perfect statement. The point is to step forward before anyone else. The human brain respects initiative. When you are the first to speak, you send a signal to everyone in that room that you are comfortable and willing to engage. People often take their cues from the person who speaks first. You've seen this before. When one person breaks the silence, the whole group follows. Be that person. You might wonder what to say. The answer is not complicated. You don't need a speech. You can ask a simple, clear question that opens the floor. You can share a quick thought related to the situation. You can even address the group with a basic observation that gets people thinking. The power is in the act, not in the complexity of your words. When you speak first, your posture changes. Your voice carries a little more strength. Your mind starts to believe you belong in that moment. The group sees it too. They don't see hesitation. They see someone who has enough confidence to lead the conversation forward. Over time, this habit shapes your identity. You begin to think of yourself as someone who participates fully instead of waiting on the sidelines. Now, you might face some discomfort at first. That's natural. Your heart might beat faster. Your voice might feel shaky. That's a sign you're stepping out of your old pattern. And that's exactly what you want. If it feels slightly uncomfortable, it means you're stretching your limits. It means you're doing something your old self would have avoided. Don't confuse speaking first with talking too much. This isn't about filling the air with words to prove something. This is about making your presence felt in a meaningful way. It's about getting comfortable being the first one to open the door for the discussion. You don't have to keep the floor. You just have to step into it. Every time you speak first, you're building a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. After a while, you won't think twice about it. You'll naturally step into that role without hesitation. And when that happens, your personality will feel more open. Your confidence will feel more natural, and people will treat you with more respect. You'll notice a shift in how people respond to you. They'll start to make eye contact more quickly. They'll direct questions your way. They'll listen to your input with more attention. This is because you've positioned yourself as a contributor, not just a listener. You've shown them you're not afraid to take the first step. There's also a hidden benefit to speaking first. You learn to trust yourself. So many people hold back because they fear they'll say something wrong. But here's the truth. Even if you say something imperfect, nothing disastrous happens. People won't remember every word you said. They'll remember that you had the courage to speak. That courage sticks in their mind more than the content of your sentence. If you want to see real change in your personality and confidence, commit to a simple challenge. For the next 30 days, in every group situation you find yourself in, be the first to speak. Track how it feels. Notice how people react. Watch your own comfort level change over time. You'll start to realize that speaking first is not as risky as you once thought. In fact, it becomes one of the safest ways to show who you are. This practice doesn't just help in formal situations. It works in social gatherings, community events, family discussions, and casual meetups. Wherever there's a group, there's an opportunity to step forward. And the more environments you try it in, the more adaptable and confident you become. Think about the people you admire. Chances are they have a way of taking charge in conversations. They don't hide in the background. They don't wait for permission to speak. They enter the discussion with purpose, even if they don't have all the answers. That quality is not something they were born with. It's something they developed through practice. By speaking first, you also show that you're willing to take responsibility. In any group, the person who starts the conversation is often seen as someone who cares about the outcome. People trust leaders who are willing to go first. Even in small, everyday moments, that trust builds your reputation. It's important to remember that your tone matters. Speaking first will have more impact if you do it with calmness and clarity. A rushed or nervous tone can send the wrong signal. Take a breath, focus your mind, and then speak with steady words. This shows that you're not just eager to talk, you're prepared to communicate. Body language is part of this as well. When you speak first, hold your posture upright. Keep your shoulders back, your head up. These are small adjustments, but they add to the impression you make. People read your body language before they even hear your words. A confident stance, paired with being the first to speak, creates a powerful combination. The great thing about this habit is how it spills into other areas of life. The confidence you build here will follow you into job interviews, networking events, and personal relationships. You'll become more comfortable in negotiations, more willing to share ideas, and more confident in leading discussions. You might even find that speaking first changes how you think about yourself. Instead of wondering if you have value to add, you'll start assuming that your input matters. This mental shift is powerful. It moves you from doubt into certainty, from hesitation into action. There will be times when you misread the situation. Maybe you speak first and it doesn't land perfectly. That's fine. You're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for growth. Each attempt builds the skill. And the people around you will notice your willingness to engage, even when it's not easy. If you're serious about improving your personality and confidence, understand that this is not just a tip. It's a daily choice. It's a decision you make each time you walk into a room. Will I step forward, or will I let someone else set the tone? When you choose to speak first, you choose to take ownership of your presence. Over time, this simple action will transform how others see you and how you see yourself. You'll stop feeling like an extra in your own story and start feeling like the one guiding the conversation. That change is worth every moment of discomfort you might feel in the beginning. So the next time you're in a group, don't wait, don't hold back. Open your mouth, say your piece, and watch the room respond. That's how you start building the kind of personality and confidence that people respect. And the best part, you'll know that you earned it through your own action, one conversation at a time. Number 2, train yourself to hold eye contact 2 seconds longer. Eye contact is one of the strongest unspoken signals you can give to another person. It tells them you are fully present. It tells them you are confident in yourself and in what it tells them you have nothing to hide. Yet most people break eye contact too soon without even realizing it. They look away quickly, not because they have to, but because they feel that holding someone's gaze for too long might be uncomfortable. If you want to improve your confidence in the way people see you, you must train yourself to hold eye contact just a little longer than feels natural, about 2 seconds longer. When you extend your eye contact, you communicate something powerful without saying a word. People sense a level of assurance from you that they don't get from someone who glances away quickly. It makes your words carry more weight because you look like you believe what you're saying. You don't need to force it into a stare. You're not trying to intimidate anyone. You're simply giving the other person enough time to feel your presence and register that you are there with them, not somewhere else in your mind. Think about how many interactions you have in a day. Conversations with coworkers, casual chats with friends, small exchanges with strangers. Each of these moments is an opportunity to build your confidence through eye contact. If you make it a habit to hold your gaze just a little longer, you will start to see subtle but powerful changes. People will start to lean into you more. They will take your words more seriously. They will feel a connection they didn't expect. Why 2 seconds longer? Because it is just enough to make a difference without feeling unnatural or forced. If you look away too quickly, you can seem unsure, distracted, or even shy. But if you hold on for a moment longer than usual, you signal certainty. That small gap tells the other person that you're not afraid of being seen and you're not afraid of seeing them. You must practice this deliberately because your current habit is probably automatic. Most people break eye contact when they feel a flicker of self-consciousness. You have to override that reflex. Start by becoming aware of how long you currently hold someone's gaze. Notice the moment your instinct tells you to look away. That is the point where you will train yourself to stay just a little longer. In the beginning, you will feel the urge to turn away quickly. That's normal. This is the part of your comfort zone that needs expanding. When you keep your eyes steady for those extra seconds, you'll feel a small rush of discomfort at first. But soon that feeling will fade, and it will be replaced by a quiet sense of control. You'll realize that nothing bad happens when you hold eye contact. In fact, quite the opposite. You gain respect and influence without even asking for it. This habit changes how people experience you. When someone speaks to you and you give them steady eye contact, they feel acknowledged. They feel valued. It makes them want to keep talking to you. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel heard. And eye contact is the simplest way to do that. Your relationships will deepen because of it. You will notice conversations flowing more naturally. People will open up more because they can sense you're giving them your full attention. Eye contact also helps you read the other person more clearly. When you look away too soon, you miss subtle expressions and small changes in their tone or mood. Holding your gaze for those extra seconds allows you to pick up on these signals. You start to understand people better, and that understanding makes you more socially skilled. That, in turn, boosts your confidence in every kind of interaction. There's another important benefit. You begin to calm your own nerves. When you get used to maintaining eye contact, you teach your mind that you belong in the moment. You stop thinking of yourself as an outsider or someone who needs to hide. Instead, you start feeling like an equal in every conversation. This mental shift shows in the way you carry yourself. You stand taller. Your voice steadies. Your words feel more natural. If you're wondering how to practice, start with low-pressure situations. Hold eye contact with a cashier when you greet them. Maintain your gaze with a friend while you're talking. Then move on to situations that matter more to you. Meetings, interviews, or conversations with people you respect. The goal is to make those extra seconds feel natural, no matter who you're speaking with. Remember, the purpose is not to make the other person uncomfortable. You're not trying to win a staring contest. You're aiming for a warm, steady gaze that shows sincerity and confidence. You can soften it with a small smile or a relaxed facial expression. The combination makes you approachable while still projecting strength. As you develop this habit, you'll find that it changes the way you feel about yourself. You'll begin to trust your ability to connect with people. You won't shy away from attention because you'll know how to handle it. This is one of the quiet ways confidence is built, not through loud displays or forced behaviors, but through calm, consistent presence. In group settings, holding eye contact with the person speaking shows that you're engaged. It also makes it easier for you to contribute to the conversation because you're already connected to the flow of it. When you speak, people will give you the same attention you gave them. It creates a mutual respect that strengthens your position in any group. You may notice that people who are highly confident hold eye contact naturally. They don't dart their eyes around the room when they're speaking. They focus on the person in front of them and they give their full presence. This is part of what makes them memorable. By training yourself to do the same, you place yourself in that category of people who leave a lasting impression. One thing to keep in mind is cultural sensitivity. In some cultures, prolonged eye contact is seen differently. Be aware of the norms of the environment you're in. But in most situations, holding someone's gaze for 2 seconds longer is a universally positive signal of attention and confidence. You will also see how this affects situations where persuasion is needed. Whether you're presenting an idea, asking for support, or negotiating, steady eye contact strengthens your position. It shows conviction. It makes you seem more believable and trustworthy. People are more likely to agree with someone who looks them in the eyes and speaks with certainty. Another area where this makes a difference is in leadership. If you want people to follow your direction, they have to trust you. Part of that trust comes from seeing your eyes steady on theirs. It shows that you mean what you say and that you're confident in your own decision. Leaders who avoid eye contact weaken their own authority without realizing it. You may have avoided long eye contact in the past because of self-consciousness. Perhaps you worry that people could see your nervousness. But here's the truth. People don't focus on your nervousness as much as you think. What they notice is whether you are engaged with them. And when you hold eye contact longer, they interpret it as strength, not weakness. The beauty of this skill is how it compounds over time. The more you practice, the less effort it takes. It will become part of how you naturally communicate. And with that change, your overall confidence will grow in every area of life. You'll approach conversations without hesitation. You'll meet people's eyes without second-guessing yourself. You'll stand out as someone who is grounded and self-assured. This is not about changing who you are. It's about removing the habits that hide your strengths. Short, fleeting eye contact sends a message you may not intend, that you're unsure or disconnected. By holding eye contact a little longer, you send the opposite message, that you're confident, focused, and present. Even in moments of disagreement, steady eye contact can help. It shows that you're listening and that you're not afraid of the conversation. It can calm tense situations because the other person feels acknowledged. They may not agree with you, but they will respect that you're willing to stay engaged. When you combine this habit with a calm voice and clear words, you create an impression that's hard to ignore. People remember those who make them feel heard and respected. They will associate you with confidence and reliability, and they will be more open to connecting with you in the future. The change won't happen overnight, but it will happen. With each interaction, you'll feel a little more at ease. You'll begin to notice the difference in how people respond to you. Strangers will be friendlier, friends will share more, colleagues will value your input more seriously, and all of that begins with the simple act of holding someone's gaze 2 seconds longer than you do now. This is one of the smallest, most practical changes you can make to improve your personality and confidence. It requires no special tools, no complicated planning, only your attention and your willingness to practice. And the return on that effort is greater than most people realize. If you truly want to grow your presence and strengthen your confidence, start here. Look into the eyes of the people you speak with. Stay there just a little longer than you're used to. Let them feel your attention. Let yourself feel theirs. And watch how that small shift changes the way you move through the world. Number 3. Record your voice daily to improve speaking clarity. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have to communicate your personality, confidence, and presence. Yet most people go through life without ever hearing themselves the way others hear them. They speak every day but never stop to evaluate how their words come across. They don't notice if their tone sounds unsure, if their pace is too fast, or if their words blur together. If you want to improve your clarity, confidence, and impact, when you speak, start recording your voice every single day. This habit works because it takes what's usually invisible to you and puts it right in front of you. When you play back your own words, you hear yourself in a way you never can while you're speaking. You'll notice the small habits you didn't know you had. Maybe you rush through sentences. Maybe your voice fades at the end. Maybe you fill every pause with or these things may seem small, but they affect the way people receive your message. When you listen to yourself, You can identify exactly what needs improvement. This is different from just guessing. You're not working blindly. You have clear evidence of how you sound to the world. You can hear the difference between the voice you think you have and the one people actually hear. That awareness is the first step toward real change. At first, hearing yourself might feel uncomfortable. Many people avoid it for that reason. But that discomfort is a sign you're looking at the truth. And the truth is what will help you improve. The more you listen to yourself, the more normal it will feel. Eventually, it becomes a routine part of developing your communication skills. You don't need expensive equipment your phone is enough. Every day, take a few minutes to record yourself speaking. You can read a short passage from a book, talk about your day, explain something you know well, or practice delivering a point you often make in conversation. The content doesn't matter as much as the practice of speaking and listening back. As you build this habit, you'll start to notice patterns. You might realize that your energy drops halfway through your sentences. You might find your pitch goes up when you're unsure. You might hear that your words blend together when you speak quickly. Each discovery gives you something specific to work on. You can then record yourself again while making adjustments and hear the difference instantly. One of the benefits of recording daily is that you start training your voice for control. You'll learn how to slow your pace so your words are easier to follow. You'll figure out how to add short pauses that make your speech sound more confident. You'll practice finishing sentences with strength instead of letting them trail off. This control sends a strong signal of confidence to anyone listening. Improving your clarity also improves your presence. People naturally pay more attention to someone whose words are easy to understand. When your voice is clear, people don't have to work to follow you. They can focus fully on your message instead of straining to catch every word. That makes you more persuasive, more engaging, and more memorable. Recording yourself also helps you practice using your voice in different ways. You can experiment with adjusting your tone to sound warmer or more serious, depending on the situation. You can practice speaking with more energy to hold attention in group settings. You can try lowering your pitch slightly for a calmer, more authoritative sound. By hearing these changes on playback, you'll know instantly what works and what doesn't. This is not just about public speaking or presentations. A clearer voice helps in everyday situations, from casual conversations to important meetings. It helps you come across as confident when you meet new people. It helps you explain ideas in a way that's easy to follow. It helps you express yourself without hesitation. And all of this starts with being aware of how you sound right now. When you make recording a daily practice, you start to measure your progress. Compare recordings from your first week to those from your third or fourth week. You'll be surprised by how much you improve in a short time. You'll hear yourself becoming more steady, more articulate, and more confident. That progress will motivate you to keep going. The discipline of recording yourself daily also trains you to be intentional with your words. You'll think more about how you speak before you speak. You'll become aware of your pacing, your pronunciation, and your tone even in live conversations. Over time, you won't need to focus as hard. Your improved speaking habits will become natural. Another important effect is that you'll start trusting your own voice more. Many people avoid speaking up because they're unsure how they sound. By listening to yourself regularly, you remove that uncertainty. You'll know exactly how you come across, and you'll have practiced sounding the way you want to sound. That knowledge removes hesitation and replaces it with assurance. As you gain clarity in your voice, your confidence grows in other areas. You'll approach conversations with less anxiety. You'll volunteer to share your thoughts more often. You'll take on situations where you need to speak with conviction, knowing you can handle them. And because you've practiced daily, your voice will support you instead of holding you back. There's also a mental shift that happens. You begin to see speaking as a skill you can shape, not just something you were born with. That perspective gives you control. You stop blaming nerves or personality for weak communication and start working on specific improvements. The daily recordings become your training ground. When you focus on speaking clarity, you're doing more than improving your sound. You're shaping how people experience you. A strong, clear voice signals self-respect. It tells others you value your ideas enough to express them well. That impression stays with them long after the conversation ends. Even if your goal is simply to be more confident in social situations, recording your voice will help. You'll learn to speak in a way that invites people to listen. You'll avoid rushing through your work. You'll remove the small habits that make you sound uncertain. In return, people will respond with more attention, which builds your confidence further. It's easy to skip this practice because it feels like such a small thing. But small things done daily lead to major changes. If you record your voice for just a few minutes each day, in a month, you'll already notice a difference in how you speak and how people react to you. In 3 months, you'll feel like a different person when you open your mouth to speak. This is one of the most practical and direct ways to improve both your personality and your confidence. You can't control how people first see you, but you can control how you sound when you speak. And the way you sound plays a huge role in how people judge your presence, your intelligence, and your credibility. The act of recording and listening every day keeps you honest with yourself. You can't hide from the truth of your own voice, but instead of avoiding it, you use it to grow. You make small adjustments, hear the improvement, and keep building from there. Each day's recording becomes another step toward the speaker you want to be. The work you put in here will benefit you for the rest of your life. Your voice will carry confidence naturally. People will listen when you talk. Opportunities will open because you can communicate clearly and persuasively. And you'll know it. It didn't happen by chance. It happened because you put in the daily effort to train and improve. So commit to this simple discipline. Each day, find a quiet space. Press record and speak. Listen back.